in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
2:36 p.m. and we have our first tornado warning of the day in parts of northwest Florida for parts of Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. Good Tuesday afternoon to you. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson. We have a possible tornado near or on the north side of Milton, Florida, out near Point Baker and Whiting Field, moving off to the northeast at a rapid clip. This is a tornado warning, meaning we need you to take action to protect yourself, as we could have a tornado on the ground doing damage in parts of Santa Rosa County near Whiting Field. At this point, the entirety of NAS Whiting Field should be totally shut down, as we have a possible tornado very near there, moving to the northeast out toward Munson. Also, Rowville involved in this tornado warning. This is going to be near Escambia Farms and also areas to the north of Crestview in Okaloosa County in the next few minutes. Again, this tornado warning has just been issued by the National Weather Service in Mobile. We'll zoom in real tight and show you where this thing is right now. And the call to action is actually on the north side of Milton, Florida. This basically is from areas near that new Publix right there on the north side of Milton and points north out here towards Point Baker and NAS Whiting Field. And so if you are near those areas, we need you to take action to protect yourself, as we have a possible tornado on the back flank of this developing supercell thunderstorm that is moving off to the northeast. This is very near the intersection of Florida State Highway 87 and Florida State Highway 89, right there at the water tower at Point Baker, and this is lifting off to the northeast. And so if you're in the city of Milton, Florida right now, this is exiting your area. So again, the call to action is mainly for areas to the north of Milton out here towards Whiting Field. So if you're at Milton, you really don't need to be doing anything right now. This has, nothing to do with downtown Milton. Same thing in Pace, same thing in Pea Ridge. You are fine. Same thing at 5 Points. You're out of this tornado warning polygon. The issues are up here on the north side of town, out toward Whiting Field. We'll go up to our storm on radar, and again, this is a storm that is moving to the northeast away from Milton. If you are in Allentown or areas near Central High School, you are involved in this new tornado warning. And so for folks at Allentown, Whiting Field, Spring Hill, Rowville, you need to be taking action to protect yourself, as we have a possible tornado coming in from the southwest. Again, this is a cell that's exiting Milton off to the northeast. Let's actually show you the wide view of Santa Rosa County in terms of the entirety here. And again, this is no issue for Pace. If you're at Pace, this has nothing to do with you. Milton points back to the northeast, involved in this active tornado warning. And again, this is strictly on the north side of Milton, really, out toward Whiting Field and also Spring Hill. This does include a big chunk of the Munson Highway, which runs out of Milton toward the MX 191 dirt track, Spring Hill, Rowville, there near the intersection where the road forks off. All those areas under the gun from this possible tornado. Current time is 2:40 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and it's going to be an active day. We've got another separate severe thunderstorm warning up here for parts of Clark and Monroe counties. That storm could be producing damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour in parts of Clark County. But again, the issues are down here in terms of the tornado risk in Santa Rosa County. And so I want to keep it on that storm. This also does include a part of northern Okaloosa County. If you're in Crestview or Holt, this does not have anything to do with you. But this does include areas near Hurricane Lake, Beaver Creek, also areas near Munson along State Highway 4, possible tornado inbound from the southwest, pushing off to the northeast. And let's check on the speed on that. This is moving to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. And so quickly exiting out of the greater Milton area. Again, just to shoot this to you straight, Milton is fine. If you are in the city of Milton, Florida, I realize, your phone made that horrible wireless emergency alert noise that we now all are accustomed to, but the issues in Milton are now done. The storm has exited to your northeast, and you can go about your life. Keep in mind, there may be more tornado warnings later, but for now, in the city of Milton, Florida, we will give you a tornado all clear. I realize that this polygon still, technically goes down into Milton, but Milton all clear for now. If you're at Whiting Field, we need you to stay sheltered. Same thing at Spring Hill, same thing at Rowville, same thing at Allentown. Central High School, let's give it 2 to 3 more minutes and we'll be able to give you an all clear as this cell continues to work its way to the northeast. Let's go over to the velocity view and we'll show you that rotation is basically right on top of Whiting Field right now. Here's your counterclockwise mesocyclone pushing toward Rowville and Spring Hill from the southwest. The cell is moving just like that. And on that trajectory, this is going to cross Munson Highway somewhere south of Munson in about 5 minutes. And so it can't be stressed enough for the folks in Munson, you need to be taking action to protect yourself, lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. And that thing kind of ramped up on that latest volume scan. This is a clear couplet that could be producing a tornado down on the ground very near Whiting Field. We're going to have to watch our social reports very carefully as that signature is rather concerning as this cell continues to rapidly push off to the northeast through southern Santa Rosa County. Again, current time is 2:43 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson. We're tracking a possible tornado on this January 3rd in Santa Rosa County. This is going to be very near Munson in about 5 to 10 minutes. And so for the folks in Munson, please implement that tornado safety plan right now as we have a possible tornado coming in from the southwest. By the way, if you are in Whiting Field or areas near Spring Hill, Rowville, areas near MX 191 there on the Munson Highway, areas near Munson, Santa Maria, also Escambia Farms, Good Hope over in Okaloosa County, this is what you need to be doing right now. You want to get on the lowest floor of a well-built structure, away from windows, away from doors. The idea here, we want you to put as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. I am in this area a good bit, and I know that there are mobile homes, a lot of folks who live in mobile homes in this area, in this tornado warning, and we would encourage you, if you have a neighbor who has a site-built house, now is the time, don't wait, to go there, right? You need to be in a well-built, site-built structure away from windows, away from doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. As we continue to track a possible tornado exiting out of Milton and Whiting Field, coming up toward Munson Highway and Munson over the next few minutes. This is Santa Rosa County, Florida, and ultimately this possible tornado is going to cross into Okaloosa County over the next, say, 20 minutes or so. Just to zoom out and give you perspective here, Santa Rosa County is a large county by area in our region. Same thing in Okaloosa County. It's a large county, but this is a very small tornado warning polygon specifically for areas near Whiting Field, back up to the northeast, toward Munson, toward Santa Maria, toward McClellan, toward Good Hope, and areas out here near the Blackwater River State Forest. All those areas under the gun from a possible tornado at this point. We have had numerous tornado warnings over the last several hours across parts of central Alabama. I see that there actually is a tornado warning right now for parts of Clay County, north of Tallapoosa County in central Alabama. But again, we are here to cover this in South Alabama and Northwest Florida. The only tornado warning at the moment anyway happening in parts of Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. Now 2:45 p.m. And if this continues, this ultimately could be an issue for areas near Alaflora, Roberts, Wing, in this part of the world, in Alabama. If this were to cross the line, it's going to continue to march its way into Covington County. And keep in mind, I don't really expect these thunderstorms to be, long-lasting, violent tornadoes today, but just like what we're seeing here, some of these storms may ramp up and briefly produce tornadoes cyclical in nature. In other words, they cycle up, they cycle down, they go away, they come back, that sort of thing. That's kind of what we're looking at on a day like today with this enhanced severe weather risk that we have ongoing across the region. Let's go ahead and zoom in. We got a polygon update to pass along, and the deal is if you are in the red zone, you're under a tornado warning. If you're not included, and that's what we want to be able to clear everyone out of the ongoing tornado warning. But here's some good news. If you're in Milton, Point Baker, Whiting Field, areas near Central High School and Allentown, all clear for you right now. The tornado threat has ended at Whiting Field, NAS Whiting Field, Point Baker, Allentown, Central High School, areas near Milton. You are done with the tornado warning for now, and you can go about your business. Keep in mind, you may have more tornado warnings later. This is going to be a long duration event, and we may be here well into the night. I hate to be the bearer of bad news per se, but we very well may see more tornado warnings in the hours ahead across our local area. Coming up on 3 o'clock, and look, I realize that we've got school's about to release. I don't know who's in and who's out in terms of school today. I know here in Bruton, the city schools went to school and the county schools did not. I don't know what the deal is down in Santa Rosa County, but we do not need buses going at this point in northeastern Santa Rosa or in northwest Okaloosa County. So perhaps you're watching from one of these central offices that make the decisions. No buses should be running at this point in this tornado warning in northeast Santa Rosa County or northwest Okaloosa County. It's simply too dangerous at this point. And hopefully what will happen, this thing will kind of spin down and we'll be able to give you a complete all clear from this tornado warning. But again, no buses should be on the road in Santa Rosa or northwestern Okaloosa County. Let's kind of zoom out across the region and see what we've got going on elsewhere, because we're tracking this tornado warning in Santa Rosa County. We also note that we've got severe thunderstorms capable of producing damaging straight line winds in parts of Clark County. Let's quickly go up there and check on that, because we have had some reports in that area of very, very loud thunder and also gusty winds over the last few minutes. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning happening near Grove Hill, happening near Cyrene, the Old Line Road, Nettleboro, coming into areas out here near Packers Bend, near Monroe Intermediate School, and also Wilcox County involved in this severe thunderstorm warning, as we continue to track this line of thunderstorms over in West Alabama. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning, damaging straight line winds possible near Old Line Road, Gosport, up to Packers Bend in Clark County. Back to our tornado warning, and again, this is why we are here. This is a tornado warning that continues for Santa Rosa County, Florida, until 3:15 p.m. Possible tornado very near Spring Hill, very near MX 191, the dirt bike track here just to the west of Munson Highway in Santa Rosa County. This possible tornado is moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. This is going to be an issue imminently for Munson. If you are at Munson or you know someone at Munson, Florida on State Highway 4, you need to call them and let them know that we have an active tornado warning, and everyone in Munson should be totally sheltered at this point, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Best possible thing that you can do is to put on a tornado helmet, all right? If you don't have, a bicycle, a football, a baseball helmet, that's okay. We all have cooking pots under our counter, and you may be hearing this for the first time. You may be new to the area and think, oh my goodness, who is this goober on Facebook telling me to put something on our head? I can tell you from experience and from talking to countless people across the Southeast over the last 10 years, tornado helmets save lives, all right? Best possible thing you can do is to put on a tornado helmet to protect the skull region, because that's where most injuries in tornadoes happen, blunt force trauma to the skull region. And again, for the folks in Milton, we need you to go ahead and put on that tornado helmet now if you haven't already. And I tell you, this circulation is really holding its own as it continues to truck off to the northeast. Let's see if we can pull up a ground truth photo. Yeah, this is a great photo. This is coming in from Michael Burrows, and he sent this in the Red Zone Weather app. Let's see if we can get that photo up. This is a wall cloud, what appears to be kind of a wall cloud. This is from Whiting Field, and so I want to go ahead and take that photo full. So here's the storm we're talking about in Santa Rosa County. This was a photo at Whiting Field a moment ago, and let's see if I can make that a bit smaller so you can get a better handle, there we go, on what we're looking at. That does not necessarily appear to be a tornado on the ground, but look, sometimes you don't see the full condensation funnel hitting the ground. There may be a tornado happening, and we just don't see it in this particular angle. Again, we certainly want to thank Michael Burrows for sending that in. Let's go back over to our radar source. And same storm moving into Munson and areas near Beaver Creek and the Blackwater River State Forest in Santa Rosa County. Again, this is the northeastern part of Santa Rosa County under the gun from a possible tornado. This thing is going to be very near Munson Highway in a matter of moments. Let's go ahead and zoom in. And your possible tornado is going to be right here. This is your couplet. And Munson, this thing is right on top of Munson Highway at this point, coming down towards Spring Hill and areas near Rowville. If you're near those three communities, Rowville, Spring Hill, Munson, be sheltered. This thing is right on top of you at this point. And really, there's no way to know without, having a camera or having someone out here looking at it if indeed there's a tornado down. But with a signature like that, the odds are pretty good, to say the least, that are pretty high, I should say, to say the least, that we will have some type of rotation that could be producing at minimum gusty winds, but probably a tornado with a signature that looks like that. This is going to come up toward Florida State Highway 4 over the next 5 minutes. And so what I'm telling you is no travel at this point on Florida State Highway 4, extending from Berrydale Crossroads, which is right here, all the way back over to Baker. Let's just make it safe. No travel on Florida State Highway 4, extending from Berrydale back over to Baker. And just to clarify, this tornado warning does also include a part of far northern Okaloosa County. All right, so if you're in Okaloosa County near Beaver Creek or Hurricane Lake, you are under this tornado warning as well. This has nothing to do with Crestview or Holt, nothing to do with those two communities at this point. And the deal is this is going to cross Florida State Highway 4 very near Munson over the next few minutes. And so again, for folks near Munson, you certainly need to be sheltered. Current time 2:54 p.m. We're getting a photo in. And yeah, this is going to be another view of that potential tornado. Let me step off camera briefly so I can set the source here so we can show you this photo that's coming in from Whiting Field. We certainly want to thank everyone who's sending in photos today from across the region. It is immensely helpful. Even if you're not involved in an active tornado warning, you are our eyes and ears on the ground. And so we certainly can, do what we do and be in this studio, all night long if we need to, and that's a likelihood tonight. But what we can't do is be, 500 places at once. And so thank you to everyone who's sending in these photos and videos from across the region. What I'm doing right now is we want to show you a view that has come in from Whiting Field. This is going to be from Brandy Scott down at Whiting Field. Brandy Scott Higgs, excuse me. Yeah, and look, there's a lowering here. This is going to be kind of a grainy photo, but let's take it full and show you. You can kind of see that very well may be a tornado, all right, very near Whiting Field. Again, this is from Brandy Scott Higgs. We certainly want to thank her for this photo. That's your possible tornado as it was exiting Whiting Field. And, it's hard to see with this particular view, but that very well could be the tornado that's coming into Munson right now. And so what we would tell you is if you're at Munson, you certainly need to be in a safe place right now. Lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. This thing's right on top of Munson at this point. If you're familiar with this area, you know that Florida State Highway 4 crosses the Munson Highway right there at the seed orchard. There's a seed orchard right there on the north side of 4. Munson Highway runs here. There's a little store, gas station. I think they sell gas. It's a convenience store right there at Munson. I'm in this area all the time. And again, for folks that live within 5 miles of that convenience store at Munson in Santa Rosa County, Florida, you need to be putting a tornado helmet on, and you need to be protecting yourself, getting to a tornado-safe place, as we could have a tornado moving in from the southwest. Watching this thing very carefully on radar, I have to be honest, I think that this is kind of fizzled just a bit on the Mobile radar, which is a good thing, but you know, even with a signature like that, we still see rotation that could be producing a tornado down at the surface. And so we need folks to remain sheltered if you're at Munson, and I say that, it's kind of ramping back up. Getting some damage reports coming in from West Alabama. I tell you, we've had several tornado warnings over the last several hours in the central part of the state. I have not seen any reports of injuries or death so far today from these storms, thankfully. Hopefully that trend will continue. And again, just watching this situation very carefully as we have a possible tornado at Munson in Florida, pushing off to the northeast. If you're at Munson, please stay sheltered. Just following up on some of the photos that I've been sent over the last few minutes. If I go silent, longtime viewers and readers know this is part of the process. I have to look down and kind of assess what we've got going on 400,000 different sources. So just be patient with me, please. I certainly appreciate that. As we are tracking a possible tornado in Santa Rosa County in northwest Florida. It can't be stressed enough for folks near Munson. You need to be sheltered, all right? Lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors. And, I realize it gets, repetitive and people don't want to hear me repeat myself. But look, tornadoes aren't static. They move. And so we've got folks coming in and out of the live stream. And so that's why we want to tell you, what to do. Maybe you're in Beaver Creek. Maybe you're at Hurricane Lake. Maybe you're in the middle of the Blackwater River State Forest up here. We want you to be sheltered and do the right thing so that we can mitigate any injuries or worse in this situation. Tell you what, let's zoom out on our radar view here and we will show you that this is quickly approaching the Okaloosa County line. We'll turn on the traditional radar view. And to be frank, this whole deal started back around Pace as what we refer to as a mini spinny. That's a non-scientific term, obviously, but sometimes these mini spinnies, or in other words, these tiny, tiny showers and thunderstorms, acquire enough rotation to briefly produce tornadoes. And that, I think, was a great call on the part of the Weather Service to issue this tornado warning for parts of Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. This is in effect for 15 more minutes until 3:15. And I think what they're going to do is just kind of let this ride until 3:15 rolls around. But let me stress, for folks in Pace, Milton, Whitingfield, Point Baker, Pea Ridge, you're fine right now. The issues are far to your north, and we are tracking this possible tornado in northeastern Santa Rosa County. It is now 3 p.m. here in southwest Alabama and northwest Florida, meaning it's 4 p.m. in the east, it's 1 p.m. out west, And it's 3 o'clock on the dot here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we are kicking off our second hour of nonstop tornado warning coverage. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, joined alongside executive producer Bentley Martin. Going to be a long day and a long night. This is the first of what could be many tornado warnings over the next several hours. And this is a warning that is in effect until 3:15 p.m. Let's go ahead and zoom in on our storm because this is right over Munson at this point. And this cell is going to be in a very rural part of Santa Rosa County in a matter, this already is a rural part of Santa Rosa County, but it's going to become even more rural as this continues tracking off to the northeast. And look, if this continues, we need to, kind of give you a heads up. If you are at Alaflora, and I say that, let's see, I think the Weather Service just canceled the warning. Let's look and make sure. Yes, they have canceled the warning, and so no more tornado warning. What they have done, they've just canceled the warning, and let's see if we can go over to the velocity view. Yeah, this is ramped down over the last few minutes. Let's take down that banner because, again, as of 3:01 p.m., the tornado warning has been canceled. All right, no more tornado warning. This has been canceled, and if you are at Munson, we will give you a temporary tornado all clear. So just to reiterate, a tornado all clear for all parts of Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. The tornado warning is done at this point. The Weather Service, in their assessment, they believe that this cell has broadened out to the point where it's no longer producing a tornado. And look, it's as clear as day. This was certainly more of a big deal when it was back here near Whiting Field. And before we get out of here, I do want to kind of show some of these photos that have been coming in. But look, right there's your cell. You got to issue a tornado warning when you see something like that on radar. There's just no doubt about it. And we saw a lowering as this storm moved over Whiting Field and Milton. But at this point, there is no imminent tornado threat in any part of Santa Rosa or Okaloosa County. And I have a feeling this is going to be the first of what could be many warnings over the next 12 to 15 hours. And so it's going to be a long night ahead of us, but what I want to do is kind of do an assessment across the region, and then I want to go back to those photos that we got sent in a minute ago from down in Whiting Field. First thing we need to do, let's go talk about this severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be in the northern part of Monroe County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning due to a severe storm coming into areas near Alabama Highway 41 over to basically areas just north of Beatrice. This includes places like Buena Vista, also areas near Veredenburg, all the way over to McWilliams involved in this severe thunderstorm warning. Could have damaging straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour on this January 3rd in parts of northern Monroe County. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning until 3:30, I believe. Let's check on that. And you know what? We've actually got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just coming on the board. This is going to be a separate new severe thunderstorm warning that's being issued right now for parts of Butler, Monroe, and Wilcox counties. And so I think this is actually going to be for this separate cell. And let's just kind of hang out here for the next few minutes because this is a supercell thunderstorm that has fired up. You're going to see the warning polygon populate in this area in a matter of moments. The Weather Service issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning right now as we are looking at a situation where, and I'm actually just getting a report in from Clark County, this storm is producing damage back here in West Alabama. This one is. As it comes into Wilcox and northern Monroe. This is a separate severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be valid until 3:45 p.m. So 3:45 p.m., new severe thunderstorm warning, possible damaging straight line winds and large hail coming into areas near Old Texas and Pineapple. And I tell you, that thing is rotating. It is rotating mighty suspiciously, let's just say. And what we're going to do, we're just going to keep riding here because Monroe and Butler counties, you belong to us. Anytime there's a tornado warning for those two counties, we go live and stay live until the threat is over. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, so this is a bit different. The Weather Service, in their assessment, they believe that this storm could be producing damaging straight line winds, but I'm telling you, it is rotating like a top, and we may have to get a tornado warning over the next few minutes for parts of far northern Monroe out here towards Hines Farm, Oak Hill, Pineapple, and Forest Home over the next few minutes. So I'm putting you on notice in those areas. Just know we're watching this storm with vehement interest, let's just say, as it continues to move off to the northeast. Bentley, have you seen anything in terms of comments on Facebook Live? I've been trying to watch the YouTube side of things, but I don't get to see the Facebook side of things.
I have one question.
Yeah.
How long will this go on?
Yeah, we'll kind of get in there into the nitty gritty and talk about that. And I tell you what, if you will, let's not do it yet, but if you'll queue up my MacBook, the 2016 source, I want to go there in a minute. Not yet, but we need to go there because we've got some significant damage to show in just a minute. And what was the question again?
How long will this last? When will it all be over?
Yeah, so we're looking at, it's 3:06 p.m. on this Tuesday afternoon. This is going to be a 12 to 15 hour event. And I can tell you, this is not what I want to hear. It's not what you want to hear, I know, but just, I'm telling you, buckle up. We're going to be here off and on over the next 12 hours. And so Bentley's going to be here, I'm going to be here, Landon's going to be here in a bit. And so we're going to, walk you through it every step of the way, but just know this is one of those things that's going to last for 12 to 15 hours. And again, I realize, especially for folks with kids, that's a lot and the last thing that you want to hear, but it's like I told someone today at lunch, we're picking up where 2022 left off. We had more tornado warning days in 2022 than any other year in the last 7 years. And so 2023 is going to, like I said, kind of pick up right where we left off, unfortunately. Already had one tornado warning. No tornado warnings at this point as of 3:07 p.m. Let's see if we can cue this up. I don't know who tagged me in this, and I apologize for not seeing that. Oh yeah, that's up at Gallion. All right, so that's up in central Alabama. So I tell you what, since I've got it queued up, we will go ahead and take this full. This is going to be, let's take my MacBook full 2016, please. Yeah, that is the type of damage that you're going to get today if you get a tornado. This is in Gallion, Alabama, up in the west central part of the state. And this was at Keeneland Farms, and you can see structures damaged there in Gallion. This was because of a tornado that moved through there a bit ago. And this is the type of damage that we are expecting today in some of these heavier storms. Back over to LD1, and I actually have another separate video that has just come in from Santa Rosa County. Let me cue that up. This is going to be from Chris and Marcia Posse, I believe is how you say that last name. And look, I'm the king of people botching their name, and so I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Chris and Marcia Posse in Munson. Let's see if we can, if you'll take my MacBook again full, this is the kind of views that we're getting today. This was that storm that produced the lowering in Santa Rosa County, and so this is the type of views that you're going to see if you have a severe thunderstorm close by. And look, you see the rain, heavy rain happening there. There actually may be some small hail embedded in that as well. But just know we want you sheltered if you get a tornado warning. Now, I don't know if these folks were involved in the tornado warning, but it looks like they were kind of looking to the storm to the southwest, I believe, or excuse me, southeast as this moved to the northeast. But just know we appreciate the photos and videos, but it's kind of a delicate balance because we want you to be sheltered whenever we have tornado warnings. But again, we want to thank Chris and Marcia Posse for this video, I should say, that's coming in from Santa Rosa County there near Munson. Thank you so much for that. Let's go back over to LD1. Here's the storm that brought us here, and this is weekend at this point. This is going to be out near Bradley, Alaflora, Roberts, also near Elam over the next 5 minutes. Looks like this is going to be more of an issue for Okaloosa County, coming into Covington County near Wing and Alabama Highway 137 over the next few minutes. And look, no warning on that storm anymore. The warning is gone. So let's take down that banner because, again, this has no warning, thankfully, out on this anymore as the tornado warning was let go about 5 to 10 minutes ago. And right now, as of this point, as of 3:10 p.m., we have no active tornado warnings for any part of southwest Alabama or northwest Florida. We do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings happening in parts of Clark, Monroe, Wilcox, and Butler counties, but at this point, no active tornado warnings. Anything from you? Any power outage reports, any damage reports, any comments that you'd like to pass along? All right, very good, very good. We'll tell you what, let's talk about this storm that's happening in northern Monroe. This is going to cross into Wilcox County over the next few minutes, and the overall, broad rotation has remained broad, and so that's a good thing. So I think what we're going to do over the next few minutes, let's kind of do a roundup here of what we've got going on, then we'll do a broad overview, and then what we're going to do is go back to covering these storms in the Red Zone weather app. So at this point, as of 3:11 p.m., severe thunderstorm warning continues for far northern Monroe County, Old Texas, Hines Farm, areas near Alabama Highway 47, Alabama Highway 21, north of Beatrice, Vredenburg, Coy, Camden. You've also got Rosebud, areas near Alabama Highway 41, Kirby Road up here in northern Monroe and Wilcox counties, all those areas under a severe thunderstorm warning due to two separate storms, one of which is happening right now just to the north of Coy out here towards Yellow Bluff. This is coming into Camden. You may have some hail and gusty winds in Camden over the next few minutes. Same thing at Vredenburg in far northern Monroe, there on the county line. You also may have some hail near Pineapple and areas near Old Texas. Here in far northern Monroe, this is going to cross out into areas near Forest Home in Butler County over the next few minutes. And again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. This is not a tornado warning. And so at this point, 3:12 p.m., no tornado warnings anywhere across South Alabama or Northwest Florida. And Bentley, before we leave, we note, let's go into Covington County. Let's kind of look at this one. There is a broadly rotating thunderstorm happening near Gant Lake, River Falls, north of Andalusia. If you remember, about 2 weeks ago, we had a tornado warning in these same areas for areas near Gant Lake. This thing is going to be very near that same storm that happened 2 weeks ago. So we're going to have to watch this one. This one's broadly rotating. No warning out for Covington County at this point, but I want to show you the velocity so you can see this thing is rotating like a top. There actually is a storm here coming into Gant and Clearview and Strawn and Antioch. Also got a rotating storm out here near Brooks coming into areas near Industry in southern Butler County over the next few minutes. And so watching those storms very carefully as well. And like I said a minute ago, buckle up because this is going to be a long night. And I suspect that instead of having, 8 hours of continuous coverage as we have had in the past, this is probably going to be more of a deal where we have a warning and then everything quiets down for a minute and then we have another warning and then everything goes quiet. That's going to be the nature of the game tonight. I don't think we're going to be here for, 8 hours straight, but if you get a warning, we need you to take action. At this point, we have no active tornado warnings. Anything you'd like to add before we end the feed? We're coming up on 3:15 p.m., which is when that original tornado warning was set to expire. Again, the warning is long gone, and at this point, the only warnings that we have are these active severe thunderstorm warnings for parts of far northern Monroe, Butler, far northwestern Butler, and much of Wilcox counties here in south central Alabama. I do note there is a severe thunderstorm warning north of Auburn out here toward Dadeville, Jackson's Gap, Valley, areas south of Roanoke out here toward Lynette as well, involved in a severe thunderstorm warning. There also is a separate severe thunderstorm warning for areas near Ashland in Clay County, and there actually is a separate tornado warning south of Auburn near this is south of Union Springs. So that's a tornado warning for parts of Macon County. Just be aware of that. If you have interest south of Auburn in Macon County, that's something to be aware of. We actually have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued for our local area. And the running joke around here is if we try to end the feed, we're going to get another warning. And indeed, that's what's happened here. So let's kind of cover this one real quick. This is going to be a new separate severe thunderstorm warning, and this is on the board for northern Monroe and Wilcox counties. So again, this is for areas near Veredenburg, Camden, Rosebud, Oak Hill, new severe thunderstorm warning. And look, this one goes until 4 o'clock. Much of Wilcox, northern Monroe, north of Beatrice, way out here toward McWilliams. Those are the areas under the gun from this new severe thunderstorm warning. And that one's on the board until 4 o'clock as we continue to track this storm. And look, you know, I've had several comments over on the YouTube side of things from folks saying that they're concerned because they're getting, you know, a tornado warning. There is no active tornado warning, all right, for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. The only tornado warning that we are noting as of 3:15 p.m. is happening in central Alabama in parts of Macon County, south of Auburn. That storm is going to cross potentially into southern Lee County and northern Russell County over near Phoenix City and Columbus over in Georgia. But for now, that is the only tornado warning. In fact, take me over to LD2 real quick and let's take down that banner because we have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. Some folks are saying, oh, well, my phone, you know, went off 5 minutes ago for a tornado warning. Well, your phone must be delayed because there is no active tornado warning for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue until 4 o'clock. Far northern Monroe, much of Wilcox, and for far northwestern Butler counties. And I should mention as well, we do have this active, let's go back over to LD1 as we finish up. Active tornado watch does continue for Washington, Clark, Monroe, Wilcox, Choctaw counties, and all of southeast Mississippi. This is round one of what could be 3 rounds of storms. This is round 1, all right? So we've got a long way to go. Buckle up, pop some popcorn, get ready to have dinner a bit early, and we'll be with you throughout the night. If we have more tornado warnings, we'll come back on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to bring you the very latest. And we hope you have a wonderful Tuesday evening. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson with Bentley Martin saying goodbye for now. We will see you soon.
Be sure to find us across social media and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.